What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I'm back with another top 5 video. Now, this episode, I will be doing one of the options that I presented on my Instagram. It ended up finishing almost tied for second. Like, it was very marginal with most under or overrated films. And on this one, I'm going to be giving my top 5 favorite box office failures. Now, some of these are bigger bombs than others. Like, some of them lost more money than others, but none of these turned a profit in the box office. They all lost money and were considered failures. Some, like I said, some lost a lot more than others, but none of these were financially successful, but they're all movies that I love. So I'm going to be going over my top 5 favorite box office bombs. But before I do, if you would, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every time new videos drop. Also, if you would, please give me a thumbs up down below. Just takes 1 second. Go down there, click it, and then continue watching this video and leave me a comment. What are your 5 favorite box office failures? All right, these are going to be in order. So this is not in the order of flop, but in the order of how much I love them. This first one is the newest movie. This just came out in 2022, and it is a little movie called Babylon. Probably the reason why it's number 5 is because it is so new, and I haven't spent as much time with most of the other movies. Although another one of them is newer, but I loved it way more. But Babylon, this had a budget of $80 million. It only made $63 million at the box office, so did not even break even. And for a movie with a cast like that, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, amongst others, Tobey Maguire pops up in there. A movie that when I first saw it, I thought it was pretty good. And then when I rewatched it recently, I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and I am looking forward to rewatching it again in the future. I just think it's a great film, an R-rated, dirty, filthy version of Singing in the Rain. Pretty much that's what you're getting, and that's also a great film, but this I absolutely loved. Next on my list, number 4, is going to be a movie called Dread. Of course, this is the Carl Urban version. This had a $45 million budget, and it made 41 at the box office. So almost made its budget back, but then that does not account for marketing and things like that. So another one, it was a flop. There was no sequel made. I remember them talking about maybe doing a sequel or a sequel television series, or none of it's come to fruition. I do know this movie and another one of these has like a cult following because people realize, hey, that movie's really good, even though people don't go see it in the theater. A great action film, incredible visuals. I saw it in 3D in the theater, and I thought the 3D was pretty awesome. So Dread, definitely one of the better movies that failed to make any money. All right, number 3. This is the biggest bomb of all these movies that I'm presenting, and that's going to be a movie from 2021 called The Last Duel. Now, this, of course, had the unfortunate timing of coming out during the pandemic. It had a $100 million budget. Okay, $100 million, ended up making $30 million at the box office. So a huge loss for 20th Century Studios and Disney. I love that film. It was my number 1 movie of that year. It was my favorite movie that came out. I thought it deserved, when the Academy Awards came around, I thought it did bad, like in every regard, except the critics. I think the critics did enjoy it, but I absolutely loved that film. I think it is incredibly well told. I love the way they tell the story from 3 different perspectives. The cast is great. Adam Driver is amazing. Jodie Comer, amazing. Matt Damon, amazing. Ben Affleck, amazing. In that movie, they're all amazing, and they play their roles to a T. So I wish that more people saw it when it came out, and I wish it did better, but alas, I could still love it. It doesn't matter if everyone else did or not. All right, number 2, $53 million budget, 25 at the box office. A big failure, but one of the movies that I just absolutely love, and that's going to be Grindhouse. Oh, look at that. This is the full version. Look at this, Kurt Russell. Look at Kurt Russell. What a stud. I'm referring to the full Grindhouse version, the theatrical version, not the 2 movies individually. I do know they came out internationally that way, but the Grindhouse package, the double feature with the fake trailers, all that kind of stuff, it was a big flop. And I remember seeing this at midnight, absolutely loving it. Me and my cousin Josh went to see it, and we both like, this movie's awesome. It's so cool and different and unique. And apparently most people didn't agree because it did not make any money and it was a flop. And yeah, I think that movie, it has a legacy. You know, it spawned multiple movies, 2 Machete films. Thanksgiving just recently came out, which came from that. So hey, good for it. It has a legacy of some sort. And my number 1, this is a movie I love. This is in my top 25 favorite movies of all time. This had a $60 million budget. $49 million at the box office, and that's going to be Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Everything about this movie works for me. The comedy works for me. The visuals work for me. The cast is amazing. I absolutely love this film. Yeah, it's weird. It's different. It's unique. Based off a comic book. And this feels like a comic book and a video game had a baby, and then that baby was a movie. It just is crazy and visually incredible, creative. And yeah, I think Scott Pilgrim is just a fantastic movie, a blast. I've seen it so many times. I love the soundtrack. I love everything about it. So that's going to be it. My favorite box office bombs of all time: Babylon, Dread, The Last Duel, Grindhouse, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Tell me again down below, what are your favorite box office bombs, movies you love that didn't make any money? And I'll be back next week with another top 5 list. So until then, take it easy.